guys, we're here at Starbucks, and next what you're going to see is an interview with David on how I done in my progress of my weight loss journey. We're here at Starbucks this morning, and I'm going to give you guys a shot of my weigh-in, which is right here. I know that my weight loss journey has come now to a close. I am no longer losing weight, and I'm taking my calories up, and I'm completely done with weight loss. And I'm going to be talking to David a little bit, asking him a few questions. So, David, how do you feel about my weight loss accomplishments?
How long has it been? 3 years?
Yep, it's been 3 years.
Anniversary. It's been a long journey. You know, I was looking on YouTube the other day at your 2nd year anniversary, and it was amazing how much you've lost just since then. You should go back and look at that, your 2nd year anniversary, and see how chubby your face is and how serious you were. I go, wow, that much has changed just in the last year. It's been a long journey, but the thing about you is you've stuck with it. You know, you've had ups and downs. Everybody has ups and downs. You have good days and bad days. She's telling me to speak louder, but dang, I feel like I'm shouting. You have good days and bad days. You have days where you eat right and days you don't eat right, days where you work out, days where you don't feel like working out. That's normal. It's like my boss tells me in my job, remember, David, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Meaning, this is not something you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even a year. This is something that takes a long time, but you got to stick with it. I'm sure everybody knows endurance is one of the big qualities of life. You got to stick with it, even when you're down. But yeah, I'm very proud. I mean, the pictures tell the story. You know, she's done a great job. And her desire is, since she's been on the journey, she wants to help other people do the same thing, because she knows how tough it is. It's like me. If I'm talking to an overweight person, they don't want to hear from me. Oh yeah, he's been skinny his whole life. And I wouldn't say skinny, but he don't know what it's like to weigh 200, 300, 400 pounds. You're right, I don't. So when I say, hey, you need to eat right, you need to work out, you need to do this, you need to do that, a lot of people don't like that. They don't accept it. Say, you don't know how I feel. And you know what? They're right. I don't. I don't know what got them to where they are. So I don't have the, I wouldn't say authority, I don't have the experience. But when someone has been down that path, they have the experience to give the right information. I think Diana was telling me a story a couple of weeks ago. She was talking to some lady, and she was telling her, look, she's saying, oh, I like to eat cake and candy, I have to give all that up. She said, you don't have to give all that up. You don't have to give up all that food, but you know what? You're still gonna be fat. Now, could I say that? No way. If I said that to someone, oh, I'd at the very least get cussed out. Perhaps. So to wrap it all up, it's been a great journey. I'm very proud of it. I mean, anything healthy that makes your life better is going to make everybody around you feel better about themselves and you.
Okay. Now, so
Not by yet.
What are your dislikes about the journey, being up late, the stuck episodes, you know, of throwing up and everything? And the reason why I'm saying this like this, guys, is because you guys are on the journey and you know how it is with your hair falling out, getting in your vitamins, and just all the things that we go through. And people thinks that this is the easy way out. And I said to the girls last night, this isn't the easy way out. You know, getting stuck, having to go back and forth to the hospital. And who wants to lose their hair? Losing your hair and all this, and weight going up and down. So, you know, this is just a part of it. So I'm asking now, what's your dislikes of the journey? And I do have this thing where I will, I get stuck and throw up. So, but David's gonna let you guys know about it. Here you go.
Briefly, what are my dislikes? First of all, here's the weight loss journey, right? This is the only part that I would call dislike. The rest of it's all positive. Yeah, is it hard? Is it difficult? But you know what? If you do what the doctor says and listen to them and listen to people who've been through it, you can get through it. Yeah, you're gonna be stuck. Yeah, you're gonna have gurgling. I go, wow, what is that? Because you hear the food going down. Yeah, you're gonna have throwing up episodes. It's just part of the journey. I never had a problem with it. I guess having been in the military and seen a lot worse situations, you know, throwing up was the least of my worries when someone was trying to shoot me. me and my friends, so throwing up don't bother me. But as far as the dislikes, very, very minor. The only piece of advice I have to give is, remember, like, Diana's reached the end of her journey, pretty much. I would say she's reached the end of her journey. I think the doctor would agree with me. Just remember that the thing that got you overweight, whether it's emotional or psychological reasons, or maybe it's just simply you didn't eat right, and you got into this metabolic merry-go-round you couldn't get off because you're eating too many carbohydrates, too much sugar, and you know, once you get into that kind of diet, the body starts craving it and you can't stop. And our sedentary lifestyle, I mean, just go watch Soul Train from the 70s. Everybody was skinny as a rail because today we don't eat that way. We don't eat like we used to. Now that's my generation. Nobody eats like they used to then. We all eat out all the time. We eat high fatty foods. Back then, you ate what mama gave you. It was always like a roast beef and some peas, you know? And that's why we're all skinny. Today, it's tough. And you've got to make adjustments. You got to stop all that eating out. But what I was saying was, the thing that got you there, whether it was just bad eating habits, I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes it's psychological. Sometimes, just from my experience in watching, sometimes it's emotional. Those are the things you got to get down into and figure out why. Because once you lose your weight, if those things haven't been addressed, it's going to be difficult for you to keep the weight off. And you will transfer one food addiction for another addiction. I'm just from my viewpoint, from what I've seen. My advice for partners and spouses and family members and all of that is just, you know, they're not going to be complaining, oh, she threw up. No, they're going to be happy when they see that scale and you dropping weight. Not because so much you're going to look so much better, but anybody that's morbidly obese, the family members, you know, when you're not there, they're saying, you know what, God, I wish she lose weight. She doesn't really, or he, don't realize what they're doing to themselves. They don't realize that they're shortening their life, and your family is just sad most of the time. When you walk in a room and you hear that quiet, guess who they've been talking about? They've been talking about you, and that's a hard fact. And don't think that if you're morbidly obese and you are not the topic of conversation a lot. You need to understand that your family members are trying to come up with ways. They learn the hard way. They learn the hard way like this. Hey, do you think you should be eating that? Should you really eat that? You know, maybe you shouldn't eat that. You know why? Because that doesn't work with a morbidly obese person. We learn that fast. Even though we think, you know, this would help, it doesn't help. Until that person comes up with a desire from the inside, the person that's by you, that's your support, has to live with your lifestyle. Don't think it's just you. We have to live with it too. We have to watch you kill yourself. And that ain't easy. So do us a favor and do something about it. It's not just affecting you, it's affecting your family and your friends and your mom and dad, because we're all concerned. It's ridiculous that we have to go through it too. But you know what? We do it. Why? Because we love you. And we just stick with it. It's like having a family member has leukemia. You just, oh, I'm not going to have anything to do with it anymore. They're sick. No. I have a morbidly obese person in my family. Okay. I got to support them even though they're killing themselves. And that's what we're doing. We're killing ourselves with our eating habits.
Okay.
So get off your sofa and get going. That's the only thing I got to say. Get moving. Do something. Go see the doctor.
Okay.
And listen to what he says.
1 minute on supporting the spouses as they go through it with you.
Sorry?
Supporting the spouses as they go through the journey with you.
The weight loss
how it affects us, yeah.
The weight loss patient support.
Yeah, don't forget about the spouses while you're going through this journey.
Oh, you mean as the patient? Yeah. Believe it or not, they're going to be in your court most of the time. Just remember that they're cheering for you and they're rooting for you. And I'm going to tell you something else. There's a million things they want to say, but they don't say it because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Let me give you another piece of advice. Every day, it's okay to say, hey, I'm losing weight every once in a while. Not 10 times a day. Don't ask that question 10 times a day. It's irritating. Wait and give us a week. And then say, hey, how do I look? Do you think I should lose more weight? Don't ask that. That's like saying when a 400-pound person asks somebody, hey, do I look fat? What are we supposed to say? Yeah, you're huge. You're fatter than anybody I've ever met. We don't want to say that. It's the same thing when you've lost weight. Hey, do I look like I'm losing weight? We all know what that is. That's a cry out for reassurance. We're gonna tell you if you're losing weight. You're gonna say, hey, girl, you look fine. And you look good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm proud to be with you. Just like Diana. I'm proud to be with her in public. Not that I wasn't before, but hey, it does make a difference. That's all. Goodbye, superheroes.
Bye.